When I got to know Daaji is watching it today, I was most excited. And I'm very keen to know what you felt about this story and this film.
Well. You'll be surprised, all of you also. Almost after 4 decades, I have seen a Hindi movie.
Wow.
Right after my marriage, me and my wife went to see a movie in Jahangir Theatre in Navsari. I forgot the name of the movie. Yeah. But that was the last movie I had seen. So you can imagine. I have seen so many movies later on in English though, because our master, he was very fond of movies, especially English movies, and very few Hindi movies he watched. Though I have seen almost every day one English movies over last 12 to 15 years of my close association with him, this movie surpasses all that I have seen so far. You know, I'm not praising this just for heck of it because Mr. Arora is here. Gulsad Arora himself is here. It's not to praise him, but it's coming from my heart because this movie conveys so many hidden, rather very subtle messages, which Vedas and Upanishads and holy scriptures have been bombarding, but never understood. And even after watching this definition of what is normal to the world, and when your heart speaks what is real, there's a big difference. The movie is all about showing what real thing is, not the normal thing is, you see. Because these autistic children with Down syndrome, etc., reflected in a very dramatic way. The entire Holy Scriptures has been essence. The entire essence has been conveyed. Also the message of the Gita. The final match, if you see, Kalmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachun, meaning don't expect the results. You do your part. And that has been masterfully dramatized, bringing in the new wisdom in a real understandable way. Otherwise, when you keep reciting these verses, you don't understand them. But when you see such things practically being demonstrated, it touches your heart. And I must congratulate Aamir Khan for producing such a, I would say, many award winning, and I pray that he wins and wins and wins. You're clapping. You guys have been clapping non-stop and I didn't want to stop you and spoil your fun. How many times we watch movies anyway? So enjoy it, and I can go on speaking, but let Aamir himself share his views also.
Well, Daji, this film has been a really learning journey for me as well. Originally, it's a Spanish film called Champions. And when Prasanna, the director of the film, and Divya, the writer of the film, they showed me the original and they narrated the adaptation because culturally we adapted to Indian context. First time when I experienced it, I just fell in love with it. I felt, the film is saying so many hidden things in small, small ways. And it is teaching us just to be better human beings. It is teaching us to be more loving. It is teaching us to be less judgmental. It is teaching us to be happy, And so many things were in this film that I was so drawn to it. And I remember this process of starting the film, making the film started a few years ago. And a lot of my well-wishers told me that, nowadays action films are doing well. And people only want to watch action films in theaters. So perhaps you should not make this film.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why don't you make an action film? So I was dissuaded from by people who are close to me, who are concerned about me. And they were saying something quite practical. They were not wrong in what they were saying. But I'm not a practical person, Daji. What happens to me is that when I come across a story which just touches my heart very deeply, and I feel that this is something I must share with everyone, what I have felt, what I have experienced, it's very important for me to share it with everyone. Until I do that, I cannot do anything else. So I could not do anything else. I was unable, despite the best of advice given to me, I was unable to do anything else. Until this story, which had got into my bloodstream, I had to bring it out of me,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm so happy that the way I felt when I first experienced this material and the script, I'm seeing today, after 2 weeks of the film in theaters, all of the audiences are reacting exactly how I reacted when I experienced the original. So it makes me so happy that, we have successfully touched the hearts of so many Indians. And this is a topic which is very close to my heart. I think, you know, one of the biggest strengths that we have as human beings is love, forgiveness, understanding, and empathy. And this film teaches us all those four things.
Yes.
So I'm so happy that this film has connected so deeply with audiences across the country, across the world, actually. And it really tells us that as human beings, this is what we really love. This is what we really want, you know, to feel joyful, to feel connected, uh, to be able to offer something to people, you know. And that is the emotion that this film brings out. In fact, I would say that in many ways, the film uh, resonates with the heartfulness way.
Definitely.
What is taught by you, Daji. This film is full of messages, which is very much following the heartfulness way. Yes.
See, I tell you, one of the most fundamental principles of heartfulness practices. We have shown time and again various actors here were afraid of taking bath, one of them, yourself. Afraid of lift. Afraid of the lift. Others afraid of so many things. Everyone had a background. So in heartfulness, we do believe that every thought inculcated by your parents, their behavior, also what you face from the world, it impresses you. It designs you in some way. It makes you think in certain way. It makes you feel in certain way. Your new normal keeps changing all the time. Reality is evaded. So we have to move away from what the normal is according to the world. I have to create my own real world from inside. And that's where the samskaras we talk about in heartfulness. Samskaras are nothing but residues of your consciousness that is affected by your own personal actions or others' actions on you. And we try to get rid of it somehow. In the movie you have shown, either you face them or develop the understanding to erase those samskars. Then the fear will go. See, it has the whole thing. I would say I would not be able to make such a movie, but you did. Harsh. You have created a movie that reflects the Pakka philosophy of heartfulness, they say. Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to. I would love to hear from one of you all or any of you all who have any questions or comments. I would love to hear.
So from Kayamat to Kayamat tak. This journey, we all have been your companion. And when the industry launched you in Kayamat se Kayamat tak, you were compared with the flamboyant superstar Rajesh Khanna's glamour. And from that time, now when we see this movie, the depth of emotion, the depth of sentiments which you have portrayed certainly reminds us of the great Guru Dutt, who played with emotion so well and conveyed the meaning of various kinds to society. It's a great thing. We all are so proud that we lived in a time when you are the actor, you are the creator.
Sabas. Oh, that's quite good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Aamir, amazing movie. Beyond what Sir says and what I've seen so far, almost every movie, irrespective of emotion, depth, this common theme was competitiveness. Jo Jita Vahi Sikandar, and even this.
Dangal, it was quite competitive.
Yeah, Dangal. How competitive you are in personal life beyond, of course, movie industry is very competitive. And what drives you to always pick a theme which has to end with winning?
Well, I have to say that I am a very competitive person by nature. But I don't think I have that quality of negative competition. I just love it when I see good work. And even if that good work is not done by me, if it is done by somebody else, I'm unable to stop myself from gushing about it. That's how I am. I like to learn from people. And the only person I'm competing with, if I am, it is with myself. And so for me, at the end of the day, it is, if you want to win anything or you want to win over, it should be done with love. With love, you can, win anyone over, is what I believe. So that's how I look at competitiveness. I have a very interesting story. You asked about this. I used to play a lot of tennis, Daji. As a kid, I was very fond of sports and I used to play a lot of tennis, about 5 hours of tennis. And I was pretty good at it. So I used to be ranked in Maharashtra sub-juniors. And when I used to come home, my mother is a very strong influence on me. So when I used to come home, she used to ask me, what happened? Did you win? Did you lose? During the tournaments, she used to be waiting for me. And whenever I came home, she would be the first person to open the door. And she would say, Kya hua? Jeete ke haare? And usually I used to win. So my answer used to be, I won. She would get very happy. She would give me a hug. And then we would sit down. My mom has always been very fond of tea. So we used to have tea together. I'm talking of, I must have been 11, 12 that time. That was my age, 11, 12. So one day I came home and she asked me, did you win or lose? I said, I won. She was very happy. She gave me a hug. We sat down to have tea. And while having tea, just as if she was talking to or thinking to herself, she started saying, she said, the boy who lost to you today, he must have reached home now. And his mother would have asked him the same question I asked you. And he would have told his mother that I lost. So that boy's mother must be feeling very bad right now. When she conveyed that to me, it hit me so strongly, Daji. I must have been 11 or 12. Suddenly I was thinking, how is it possible that my mother, she has not even seen that boy, she does not know his name. How is it she's thinking about his mother? And I have just, won a match of tennis, but I have not thought of all those things. So from that day onwards, that was the biggest lesson my mother taught me. That you may win, but you must think of the other person. The person who has lost to you. Your thoughts should be with that person. Your emotions should be with that person. And that was the biggest lesson of my life, I think. Since after that, suddenly I felt, did I make a mistake by winning? But more importantly, she taught me the lesson that we are all human beings. The next time I played a tournament and I looked at my opponent, who was also 11, 12 years old like me, my whole viewpoint changed. Suddenly I was looking at his eyes. Suddenly he was a human being. He was not an opponent. He ceased to be an opponent after that. I still tried my best. I still played my best. But the emotion was quite different, I think. So, that's my thoughts on competitiveness actually.
Lovely.
नमस्कार गजेंद्र भोपाल से
जी गजेंद्र जी.
और उसमें केवल एक स्लाइड देखने गए थे, चूंकि वो एक स्लाइड थी कि फर्स्ट स्लाइड पे दाजी का नाम आएगा, दैट्स ऑल. तो हम लगभग 30-35 लोग भोपाल में इस फिल्म को देखने गए, बट हम जो कॉमन चीज़ उसमें देख रहे थे कि इंस्पायरल मूवमेंट, उसमें जो जो हमको लगता है दाजी जिस तरह से हमारी ये व्यवस्था, हमारी परंपरा जो हमको जोड़ती है, पूर्वाग्रह के साथ चीज़ों को ना देखना. सबसे बड़ी बात कि आपने जो देखा बच्चों के संग हम पूर्वाग्रह से उसमें मूवमेंट में बताया है, तो हम किसी भी घटना को पूर्वाग्रह के संग ना देखें. और दूसरे मूवमेंट की हम किसी को छोटा किस तरह से देखते हैं, तो हम यहाँ पर इस व्यवस्था में देखते हैं कि यहाँ छोटा बड़ा नहीं है. आप देखेंगे यहाँ 1 लाख लोग भी ध्यान करने आते हैं, तो यहाँ पर आप नाम मालूम कर सकते हैं, जात नहीं मालूम कर सकते. तो ये एक बड़ा सीक्वेंस है जो हार्टफुलनेस को बाय हार्टली जोड़ता है. और थर्ड जो सबसे ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है वो ये है कि पूरी फिल्म इस दिल के आसपास है. आपकी फिल्म दिल से चालू होती है, मुकद्दर तक जाती है, मुकद्दर से सिकंदर तक, और आखिर में जब हम वहाँ खड़े हैं वो अल्टीमेट दिल पर ही आके पूरा होता है. तो सबके लिए दिल से जोड़ने वाली ये मूवी है. मैं वास्तव में इसको अप्रिशिएट करूँगा. आखिरी मोमेंट तक आपने दिल से जोड़ा है. थैंक यू.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are all grateful, the Heartfulness family, to pour down the essence of our heritage in a very simple way. Through a movie, visual graphics, very powerful dialogues, and it touches our hearts, Aamir, and we are thankful for recognizing Heartfulness, and we do appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Daj. Thank you. Thank you. And I really appreciate the work that you've been doing, your team has been doing in bringing, so much peace, happiness and joy to so many people across the world. Me included. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.